The Honor Magic 6 Pro looks gorgeous. The back of the phone has a nice texture and a big camera bump that reminded me of a jewel or a watch. The Magic 6 Pro's screen is amazing. It's 6.78 inches big, with curved sides and super bright colors. I could see everything clearly, even in the sun, and everything looked smooth and fast thanks to the 120Hz refresh rate. The screen was great for multitasking and browsing social media. This phone is different from the rest. It has a cool AI eye tracking feature that lets you control the phone with your eyes. You can pick up a phone call with just your eyes. You can even drive a car with an app on the phone using your eyes. The Magic 6 Pro has a powerful Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip that can handle pretty much anything. I tried playing Genshin Impact, a game with amazing graphics, and it ran smoothly. I also did Zoom calls and multitasked with my email app without any problems. The Magic 6 Pro beat the other phones in the 3D Mark tests, which measure how good the graphics and gaming are. One of the highlights of the Magic 6 Pro is its Falcon camera system. It consists of 4 cameras, each with a 50-megapixel or higher resolution. The main camera is a 50-megapixel lens which allows it to capture bright and crisp photos, even in low-light conditions. It also has a 180-megapixel telephalcon camera with 2.5x optical zoom and up to 100x digital zoom, although the image quality deteriorates after 30x. The other cameras are a 50-megapixel ultra-wide lens and a 50-megapixel front-facing lens. I'm really impressed by the Magic 6 Pro cameras. They take amazing photos in different lighting conditions with accurate colors and sharp details. The zoom is awesome too, thanks to the 180-megapixel portrait lens. I can zoom in on any picture and it still looks clear. This is an ideal phone for sports photography. The portrait mode was also great, except for some occasional edge detection issues. But they were easy to fix by just adjusting the camera angle. I loved how the portrait mode created a nice blur effect in the background while keeping the foreground in focus. The cameras even support 4K 60fps video recording, as well as making use of Honor's host of new AI features. The Magic 6 Pro is a beast when it comes to battery life. It has a huge 5,600 milliampere silicon carbon battery that can easily last a whole day with normal use. It's the first phone outside China to have a silicon carbon battery, which is better for the environment and safer than the usual lithium-ion batteries. It supports 80-watt wired, 66-watt wireless charge support. I'm really impressed by the Magic 6 Pro. It's one of the best Android phones I've seen this year. The cameras are amazing, the screen is crisp, and the battery lasts long and charges fast. It's a phone that makes me excited about the future. The iPhone 14 Pro Max is one of Apple's top-notch phones. It has a shiny metal frame and a smooth glass back and front. The front glass is super strong and can handle some drops. The phone has speaker and mic grills on the bottom and the lightning port that won't go away. The design is very Apple-like and cool. It can handle dust and water too. The iPhone 14 Pro Max has a big 6.7-inch screen with 120 Hz that looks amazing. It's an OLED screen with a super sharp resolution, and it shows colors really well. The other thing is how bright the screen can get. It can go up to 1,000 nits normally, but if you're outside in the sun, it can crank up to 2,000 nits. That means you can see everything clearly even on the brightest days. Everything feels bigger and better on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Playing games, checking Twitter, watching YouTube, browsing the web, you name it. One thing I really dig is the dynamic island. It's a black bar at the top of the screen that replaces the old notch. It sounds silly, but it's actually super cool and makes me wonder what else Apple can do with it. The iPhone 14 Pro Max is a great performer, as you would expect from an iPhone. It has the new A16 Bionic chip, which is faster and more efficient than the previous models. The A16 chip can handle any app or game you want to use, and it also has 6 GB of RAM for smooth multitasking. Apple's cameras have been awesome for a while, and the iPhone 14 Pro Max makes them even better. Apple finally upgraded to a 48-megapixel main camera with a big aperture and sensor shift stabilization. That means you can use it as a 2x zoom lens too. There is also a 12-megapixel telephoto camera for 3x zoom and a 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera. The selfie camera is also 12 megapixel, and it can autofocus for the first time on an iPhone. And that's not all. The iPhone 14 Pro Max has a new photonic engine that makes the colors and textures look amazing in low light. The main camera takes stunning photos in any light. The colors are vibrant, the details are sharp, and the blur is natural. The ultra-wide camera is also awesome. It lets you capture more of the scene without losing quality. It doesn't make things look distorted at the edges, which is nice. And the best part is the macro mode. It automatically turns on when you get close to something. The 12-megapixel telephoto camera has been a pleasant surprise. It may not seem as impressive as the 30x and 100x zoom on a Galaxy S22 Ultra, but it works very well. It lets you zoom in 3x and capture your subject with great detail and color. This device has a 4,323 mAh battery. The iPhone 14 Pro Max is a great choice for anyone who loves a big screen. The cameras are amazing, especially for video. You can capture smooth action shots and cinematic effects with ease. The battery life is also impressive, lasting longer than most phones.